So what's up there, everybody? We're outside in January or February here in Malmö, Sweden. We are looking at the DZOFilm 10-24 lens.
DZOFilm has two lenses for the MFT system, and they are two quite unique lenses. Both of the lenses are true cinema zooms, which for the MFT system is a first. In this video we will focus on the wider 10-24mm lens, and in the next video that is coming up we will focus on the 20-70mm lens. So if you want to see that video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can get this lens with either metric or imperial focus marks. 10-24mm has an equivalent of 20-48mm on a full-frame camera, which is a very unusual focal length. And it's only the Panasonic 10-25 that has a similar focal length, 20mm being somewhat of an ultra-wide. As a video shooter I prefer having the extra millimeters on the wide end, sacrificing millimeters on the telephoto end. Now, because DZOFilm also makes the 20-70mm lens, you also have the option of the normal to a telephoto version of this lens. Before we get into the actual test, we want to look at the actual competition of the lenses, and honestly there isn't too much in this price range to look at because there aren't any other equivalent lenses that do what these lenses do. The closest native MFT competitor is probably the Panasonic Leica 10-25mm f1.7 lens, which is a great lens with some cinema features. It has stepless iris and quite okay manual focus controls, and also controlled breathing. Although in the end it is a photo lens with good AF capabilities and great sharpness, although it doesn't really have that cinematic look that people tend to love with cinema lenses. A side-by-side comparison between the DZOFilm 10-24 and the Panasonic Leica 10-25 will be coming on my personal channel, so please don't forget to subscribe to that channel.
When it comes to cinema zooms like this, there are some things and benefits of using a lens like this to using a normal photography lens. Number one is of course going to be the focal range and scale that you can use in the focus. Here you can see I'm using the Tilta follow focus. It's probably not the best follow focus for this lens, and we're working on a review on that one as well. So if you want to see that video, please subscribe to our channel. Number one is going to be how easy it is to focus with this lens. It feels so smooth and it is so nice, and if you're following an object or subject, it will be really easy compared to following it with a photography lens. Because on photography lenses the focus throw is often very short. We'll go from focusing really close to far back in just a small touch.
The focus rotation angle is 270 degrees, which makes it easy to focus manually on your objects. The close focusing distance is at 61 centimeters, which for an MFT lens isn't too impressive. The filter thread is a very common 77mm. The lens has scales on both sides of the lens, so it doesn't matter how you use it, you will always be able to see your settings no matter which side of the camera you stand on.
The other thing that is really cool with this lens is also going to be that you have a stepless iris, so you can go from T2.9 to whatever you want to use, and you can have it stepless, which is really cool. So one thing to think about when it comes to cinema lenses, most of the time you choose a cinema lens because how it looks. Not many people choose it because of how sharp it is, because a lot of the time the actual photography lenses are often sharper than the cinema lenses. A lot of people like the often soft look that you get from cinema lenses. With that said, this lens is very nicely sharp. It's sharp enough, I would say, and it's usable from T2.9 up to whatever you would like to. But for people looking for a really sharp lens, this is probably not the choice for you. This is more a filmic tool and a cinematic tool, so if you like really cinematic footage, this is probably a lens for those people.
DZOFilm calls the MFT system the Ling Lung series. The lens is very well built and comes in at 1.1 kilo. You even get a lens mount in the package so that you won't put too much strain on the camera mount. The lens has a 12-bladed lens design and is made to produce nice and round looking bokeh.
So two very good benefits for this lens are going to be that it has very controlled focus breathing, and that means that when you focus, on photography lenses very often you can see that the edges move a lot because the focal plane is moving. On a cinema lens, you won't see that as much. On this, it's very well controlled. You can see a tiny bit of focus breathing, but it's not anything close to what photography lenses have, so that is a killer feature.
A great feature that the DZOFilm lenses have is that you have the ability to change the back focus. This is great because not all MFT cameras are made the same.
Another killer feature of this type of lens is of course going to be that it is parfocal. And for you who have seen my videos before, I've talked a lot about lenses being parfocal. That means that when you do zoom in and out with the lens, your focal plane won't change. So if I focus on Ted, who is filming this right now, and I focused on him and then I change, zoom in or zoom out, he will still be in focus. And this is probably the best feature, I would say, of this lens. This means that you can use it in slow motion and you get the really cool parallax effect when you're zooming in and zooming out, but your object or subject is still going to be in focus. So parfocalness and very controlled breathing.
Tip to see if your lens is parfocal is to zoom in as much as you can, set your focus and zoom out to the widest end. If the focus hasn't changed, then the lens is parfocal. This is a very rare feature on photo lenses. During the time that I was using this lens, I couldn't see any chromatic aberration in the image, and the flaring that I saw while using it was very pleasing to my eyes. I can really recommend the DZOFilm 10-24 as a filmmaking tool for videographers looking for a unique and versatile lens while being very cinematic. I really love the focal range, and I wish more lens brands started making lenses that go from super wide to a normal focal range.
So guys, if you have any questions about the DZOFilm 10-24 lens, feel free to leave them in the comments or add us on Instagram, where our name is Voosestore. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because there are coming a lot of videos about more gear. We're going to make a video about the 20-70mm lens as well, and we're going to talk about a lot of new gear that has been coming out the past few months. So please subscribe, and until the next time, see you soon.